People with diabetes are not just thinking about their blood sugar before they eat something sweet, before they eat some candy. We think about our blood sugar all the time. Every hour, our blood sugar can change. I think about my blood sugar first thing in the morning when I open my eyes. If I have a slight headache, I think I'm probably low right now. I'm probably under 80 somewhere. If I'm really shaking and feeling awful and disoriented, then I know I'm really low. If my mouth feels kind of dry and cottony, then I know I'm at least over 200, if not really high. And if I'm not feeling any weird symptom, and my blood sugar is probably fine, perfect, right in range where I want it to be, like most days, then I'm worrying that I might be high or low, but I'm not feeling the symptoms of it. So even when it's perfect, I'm thinking about my blood sugar. I think about my diabetes when I get out of bed, because the first thing I do every morning is walk my dogs in the woods. And you can bet I'm not going to do that without checking my blood sugar to make sure that it's right where I want it to be, versus wandering into the woods with a 45 blood sugar and passing out somewhere hoping my dog realizes to go back home and tell my boyfriend I need help. I don't want to wait for that to happen. So I think about my blood sugar before I walk my dogs in the morning. I think about my blood sugar when I think about what I want for breakfast, what my blood sugar was when I woke up. That might determine what I want to eat for breakfast. If I was a little high or really high, that's going to have a big impact on what I choose to eat for breakfast. I think about my blood sugar when I'm making breakfast, when I'm sitting down to eat breakfast, how much insulin I need for this meal, how many grams of carbs are in this meal. Do I need to cut back because I was a little low when I woke up? Do I need to increase because I was a little high when I woke up? Am I going to the gym right after I eat breakfast? Am I about to exercise? That's going to impact how much insulin I take for my breakfast if they're really right next to each other. I think about my blood sugar mid-morning, a few hours after I've eaten breakfast. Even if I've eaten the same thing I always eat, and I know exactly how many units of insulin I need for it, and I know that my blood sugar ought to be right where it is, and I feel great, I'm thinking about my blood sugar and hoping and wondering and then eventually checking to confirm that it is where I want it to be. And you might not be surprised to hear that I think about my blood sugar at lunch, when I'm deciding what to eat for lunch, 2 hours after lunch. If I exercise in the afternoon, I take my dogs out again for a walk in the afternoon, so I'm thinking about my blood sugar before that walk in the woods. I think about my blood sugar before I get in my car, while I'm in my car. Any time that I feel slightly lightheaded, slight headache, slightly kind of twinge, tiny moment of nausea, anything that feels not right, the first thing I ask myself is, could it be my blood sugar? What's my blood sugar right now? What it was an hour ago doesn't mean that that's what it is right now. I think about my blood sugar before a conference call, so that I don't have to stop in the middle of the call and say, I'm sorry, I'm low. Can we just put this whole thing on pause while I go drink a juicy juice? I think about my blood sugar at dinner, after dinner, because after dinner is going to help determine what my blood sugar is before bed. And I want my blood sugar to be in range before I go to bed so that I can go to sleep soundly and not worry about my blood sugar while I sleep. And as I hit the pillow, I am thinking, is there anything left to do to make sure that I sleep soundly through the night? Because if I'm low, I'm not going to sleep. I'm not even going to fall asleep. I'm going to realize 30 minutes later that I'm low. So I might as well check now and find out. If I'm high and I don't check and I don't think about my blood sugar before bed, then I'm going to spend the whole night high, and I might end up even higher by the time I wake up. I am trying my best to make it through that night as smoothly and as safely as possible.